Good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rob. I'm a former military guy turned entrepreneur and attorney. So, to translate that, I was a major in the United States Marine Corps. I'm currently an attorney practicing law in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I'm a digital entrepreneur. I create videos, I create tweets, I create social media content for myself. And I share that with you in the hopes that me sharing that with you, you will get something out of it as far as improving your life. And speaking about improving your life, tonight we're going to be talking about Grant Cardone's book, The 10X Rule. For those of you who haven't read it, it's a great book. I think it was published in 2011, so it's a little bit old. But as you'll see as we start discussing the book, it's filled with all kinds of wisdom. So tonight we're going to be looking at that book, The 10X Rule. We're also going to be looking at Grant's X Stream, and we're going to be looking at yours truly, my X Stream. And my hope for you, after looking at all these social media and books, one book actually, is that you're going to come away with this with a greater sense of yourself being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in life. So let's see if we can start this off with the book. The book. There we go. So Grant Cardone says success is your duty. And I believe that it's your duty too, and it's my duty. He says one of the greatest turning points in my life occurred when I stopped waiting for success and instead starting to approach it as a duty, obligation, and responsibility. So he's saying to take responsibility for your life, to not wait for things to come to you, but to go to it. So that's what my philosophy is also, and that is taking action. He's saying it too. Don't wait for success to come to you. Go to the success instead. Approach it as a duty every single day. He says that he literally began to see success as an ethical issue. I don't like the word literally. I think it's overused. I think most people, when they say something, mean it literally and not figuratively. So unless you mean something figuratively, I would say leave the literal word out. That's just my lawyer and me coming out. So he says he has a duty to his family, company, and future rather than seeing something that may or may not happen to me. He said he spent 17 years getting a formal education that was to prepare him for the world, and not one course was on success. So in other words, he's saying he went through elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, and he didn't feel that the education that he got in any of those institutions was enough for him to feel like he knew how to succeed in life. Well, what do you think about that? Is that true? Do you need a formal education to be successful in life? Probably not as much anymore with all the information that we have online that we can access very easily with artificial intelligence. And like I've been speaking about for the past couple of nights and days, I should say, is artificial intelligence. We're entering a new era, and that is artificial intelligence. So formal education is getting less and less relevant because we're all have massive amounts of information at our fingertips, and we can access that information. That access can be filtered for us through artificial intelligence. I particularly use the Bing chatbot to access artificial intelligence. I like Bard, the Google chatbot, and of course ChatGPT. And there's many, many more like Perplexity and Llama. and Mistral. There's so many of them that it's hard to choose from, but pick your favorite. And if you don't think that your education, whatever it might be, has prepared you for success, continue watching videos like mine and access some of the information that you can access through artificial intelligence. Continuing on with the book, he says, not once did anyone talk to me about the importance of success, much less what I had to do in order to get it. What is success? I mean, he's saying that no one talked to him about the importance of success. So I think what Grant is talking about and how he's defining success is that the pursuit of financial gain. And there's nothing wrong with that. And, I went through law school and I'm writing a book right now called The Fourth Wall. And I think you're going to be excited to read it when it comes out. It's about success and overcoming barriers in your life. And I was taught in the Marine Corps. He claims he wasn't taught anything about success. I was taught in the Marine Corps at least how to overcome barriers, how to overcome obstacles. Now, they were physical obstacles, more or less. But once you learn how to overcome obstacles and barriers, physical barriers like walls, barbed wire, bullet fire, you kind of have a good idea about how to overcome mental barriers that we all have to overcome. So Grant's talking about no one telling him the importance of success. That reminds me that when I was in law school, I don't know if you know any attorneys, but in the 3 years of law school, no one taught any of us how to exactly practice law. In other words, how to open up a law firm, how to get clients, how to manage clients, how to keep books, how to, you name it, get a secretary or support staff. So when Grant says that nobody taught him about the importance of success, I can understand why he might think that, but I can also understand why I can't really understand why he thinks that somebody should have taught him, because most of the things that we want to get in life, nobody is going to teach them to us for the most part. I mean, they will, but you're going to have to seek that information out. In other words, if you want to learn about success, you watch videos like mine. If you want to learn about entrepreneurship, you watch videos like mine. If you want to learn how to take action, you watch videos like mine and many, many other creators, and you learn. And it also reminds me of a story. I went to Boston College, and one day we were in a history class I was taking, and I can't remember the exact title of the history class, but at one point we were studying about the Russian Revolution. We had to write a paper on it. And I wrote something in the paper about, I can't believe that I was never taught about the Russian Revolution in high school because it's such an important event. And the professor wrote back on the paper saying something to the effect that, well, that's what college is for. So if you didn't learn something in elementary school, maybe you're going to learn it in middle school. If not in middle school, high school. If not in high school, college. If you don't go to college, ChatGPT, reading. There's all kinds of books to understand what you want to understand in life. If it's success, again, read Grant's book, watch my videos, read my book when it comes out. You get the idea. He says years of education, information, hundreds of books, time in class, and money, yet I was still missing a purpose. I was fortunate enough to have two distinct experiences in my life that served as major wake-up calls. My existence and survival were being seriously threatened in both cases. So let me just stop there and kind of go back to that previous paragraph, because Grant is one who touts the philosophy that no one should have a victim mentality. And I do believe that myself. I think blaming other people is not going to get anyone anywhere in life. Never got me anywhere in life. And I try not to blame anyone for any obstacle or anything that has to be overcome in my life. I'll take responsibility for. He seems to be a little bit on the edge of victimhood in this first paragraph, saying that nobody taught him the importance of success. Again, I don't think anybody has a duty to inform anybody of anything. It's our duty to go out there and find out for ourselves. And one of the challenges in life is getting to know what you don't know. And the challenge is, how do you know what you don't know? And you know that by reading books, watching videos, exposing yourself to ideas and information that you otherwise wouldn't expose yourself to. And I'll go back to an example at Boston College. I was taught, some of the courses at Boston College that I attended were taught by Jesuits. And the Jesuits are Catholic, like Catholic priests. And the Jesuits, even the Jesuits taught a course on religion, survey on other religions. So we might learn about Buddhism or Hinduism or Judaism. You name it. We would be exposed to a whole bunch of different religions because it's good to find other points of view and other philosophies so you can inform your own mind as to how you're going to proceed down your path in life. So Grant says that he had some unfortunate situations when he was younger. He says when he was 25, his life was a pitiful mess. And I've talked about this on previous live streams, that he had a difficult time when he was younger. And I've also given the example, I've told the story about how in life we see people like Grant Cardone, for example, and he has a private jet and he has a lot of money and he has a fortune because of his real estate empire. And some of us might be tempted to say, wow, that is so good. I want that for myself. I wish I was Grant Cardone. But if you're Grant Cardone, you have to take the difficulties that Grant Cardone has to face in his own life, like we have to face our own difficulties. And one of those difficulties that Grant Cardone faced was an issue with substance use. He said that, let me see if I can get to it. He said, you don't know, he said, I was dying at the age of 20 as a result of no direction and no purpose. At the time, he couldn't hold a job. He was surrounding himself with losers, with the terminally hopeless. And if that wasn't enough, he was using substances and alcohol on a daily basis. He says that he thinks that if he continued on that path, he would have continued to live a mediocre existence at best, probably less than mediocre, I would say, and probably much worse. Just as an aside, I think it's kind of interesting. I am an attorney, and one time, this is a fictional character, let's say. This fictional character had a substance use problem, and he said to me, I was kind of talking to him just, one-on-one, asking him questions about his life and trying to get to know him a little bit. And he said, people think that I was born like a substance abuser. He said, I didn't just wake up one day and decide I was going to abuse substances. It just happened over time. And I'm not proud of it and I don't like it, but it's a really difficult road to live. And it's hard to get away from because of the addiction. So Grant Cardone was suffering the same fate. He said, had I not committed to a life of success, I would not have identified my purpose, and I would have merely spent a lifetime fulfilling everyone else's purpose. I don't think he would have even got that far if he didn't get away from his substance use issues and his alcohol use. He said, let's face it, there are plenty of people living mere existences, and I should know. At the time in my life, this is Grant talking, not me, I was in sales and treated it with disdain. That means he didn't like it, he hated it. When I committed to sales as a career and then decided to do whatever I had to do in order to become successful at selling, my life changed. So just to kind of put this in perspective. So here's Grant Cardone, probably in his mid-20s. It took him from his mid-20s, and if I can remember his story, to about the time he was, let's say, in his mid-40s, to change his life around. 45, I think it was, 50 years old. So that's a long time. And sometimes it takes us a long time to just get to where we want in life. And it's a difficult road sometimes. You know, let's just do this right now, because I posted a video that maybe you saw, maybe you didn't if you don't follow me on YouTube, but let's listen to this now because it's a little bit relevant to what we've been talking about.
Stuck in my head. It's like the best thing ever. Basically, it says, when you're going through a rough patch, it's not the end. It's like you're getting ready to grow something awesome. It gives me hope. How about you? I have this quote stuck in my head. It's like the best thing ever. Basically, it says, when you're going through a rough patch, it's not the end. It's like you're getting ready to grow something awesome. It gives me hope. How about you?
So this video is kind of relevant. It is relevant to Grant Cardone because Grant didn't have a whole lot of hope when he was in his early 20s because of his substance use issues. He said his life was surrounded by people that weren't doing anything good. And that caused him a lot of difficulty, and he was bummed out, let's put it that way. So this video that I just posted, that I posted today, just tonight, is saying, it says to me anyways, I wrote it, that sometimes we do go through difficulties in life, but when we do, there's always hope. And that's good. And that is really good in my book. So let's just take a look a little further down here. The reason I say that is because I wanted to say a little bit more about this video, because this video was made, first of all, that's my voice in the video. And the way I made that video was I used artificial intelligence to clone my voice. I don't know if it sounds anything like me. Just try to remember what my voice sounds like now and listen to this video again.
I have this quote stuck in my head. It's like the best thing ever. Basically, it says, when you're going through a rough patch, it's not the end. It's like you're getting ready to grow.
So that's my voice cloned, and I used artificial intelligence to do it. So if you're into artificial intelligence like I am, there's all kinds of cool things that you can do with the apps that are on they're free, most of them. Some of them aren't, but you can find free artificial intelligence apps to do a lot of things. All these videos on this video, all these clips are from artificial intelligence.
Grow something awesome. It gives me hope. How about you? I have this quote stuck in my head.
So sometimes I don't really like
the best.
How these clips come out, but it was pretty cool. I mean, I think I like to experiment. I like to be creative. And like I say, I am a writer also, so I like to experiment with some of the ways that you can use artificial intelligence to be even more creative. And as I said last night, artificial intelligence is going to be the great leveler. So in other words, I'm an attorney. So if you, let's say last year or 2 years ago, if you wanted to write a will and you had no idea how to write a will, you could ask ChatGPT, write a will for me. I'm a person from let's say Virginia. I want to write a legally sufficient will that would stand up Virginia. And ChatGPT would write the will, or you say, I got a parking ticket. How can I present evidence to a judge to win a case if I bring it into court? So, I mean, it's not all the way there, artificial intelligence, but it's getting there. Let's put it that way. It's not going to allow you to go into court and use artificial intelligence to argue before a 3-judge panel of the Supreme Court, but it will give you a whole lot of information that will make your life a whole lot easier, and it will do it for very, very little, if any, money. Now, I wanted to go over a couple of these tweets, and then we'll get to Grant Cardone's tweet. I just want to see for a second how long. Can't really tell how long we've been. 20 minutes, okay. I'm probably not going to stay on too much longer. I want to get some of these things here. This tweet, it says, if you want to achieve greatness, you have to be willing to let go of the belief that you can't have it. So my social media accounts are all about the YouTube account, the stream that you're listening to right now is about achieving success. And greatness is a relative term. Greatness doesn't mean necessarily, anyway, that you're going to become like Grant Cardone, a billionaire, or that you're going to become president of the United States, or that you're going to be a world traveler. It doesn't necessarily have to be some monumental achievement. I can say that for my own life because I don't believe that I've had monumental achievements. I've had some success, but I'm not president of the United States. I did run for United States Congress, and I'm not in Congress, so that tells you something. But it doesn't mean, if you're trying your best, and I mean by trying your best, I mean you're trying to get ahead in life. And that could just mean doing really good at your 9-to-5 job. It could mean being a really good father or mother, or a good spouse, or a good brother, or a good employer, or a good employee. It means doing the best you can. It means taking action. And that's what we talk about on this channel, taking action, taking consistent small steps to get you going in the right direction so that you can have meaning and purpose to your life. And in order to do that, you have to let go of that little voice inside of your head that might be telling you right now that you can't do it, that you can't have it. Well, I'm here to contradict that little voice inside of your head, if it is there, that says that you can't do it. Because I hear that voice too sometimes, and I have to turn it off. And when I turn it off, I don't listen to it. I just turn it off and just ignore it. The second thing, one of the other things that we talk about on this channel is that everything that you do involves risk. But the most risky thing that you can do in life is doing nothing. Nothing at all means nothing will be accomplished. And to do nothing is a decision. It's a bad decision. It's a decision to get up in the morning and continue doing what you're doing, even though you want to get out of the rut that you're in right now. We're in 2024. We haven't even finished the first month. There's still plenty of time in 2024 to get where you want in life, to get further down the road, to take those small steps, to take those small, consistent actions to get you going in the right place in life. So think about that tonight. Think about that tonight, and think about that tomorrow when you're at work or doing whatever you're doing. You might be somebody that has a 9-to-5 job. You might be an entrepreneur trying to start an online business. You might be somebody who's into real estate investing. You might be a day trader trading stocks or bonds. Whatever it is, think about what's holding you back. And again, I am writing a book about breaking through those barriers. And you're going to be excited to read that book when it comes out, because it's going to give you some important tools that we're going over little by little in these live streams, and even with the short videos that I post on YouTube and all my other social media outlets. You have the power to create the life you want. And it's funny, this is my Twitter account, and on the Twitter account, I've had this Twitter account for a long time. It says 2009, okay? And I used to post tweets before. I'm not saying anything about Elon Musk, but before it was taken over and you had to get a blue check mark beside your name to get verified, I'd post a tweet and it would get a lot of views, and now it doesn't. So I'm considering getting the blue check mark. Let's go back to where we were so I can get a little more reach to my tweets. But as you can see, this one only got 49 impressions. So you have the power to create the life you want. And so in order to do that, you should be somebody that's determined and optimistic and doesn't take no for an answer. So partially that's the philosophy of Grant Cardone, not giving in to the temptation of giving up, to saying no, to taking no for an answer. Sometimes, after 100 tries on the same problem and you're not getting around it, maybe you'd have to say, try a different tact. But being optimistic and determined is a hallmark of a person that is destined to do a lot in life. So if you want to do a lot in life, be determined, be optimistic, and don't take no for an answer. Finally, let's take a quick look at Grant Cardone's stream here. And let's see if we can just get this whole thing on here. Is that mine or his? Let's see. Hopefully, let's just hide me from here. To let's see what I can do here. I hope it's motivated you to get what you want, to reach out tomorrow or even tonight and get what you want out of life. Take those small steps, take those consistent actions, and you're moving in the right direction. My name is Rob McCarthy, if you don't know me. I'm a former military guy turned entrepreneur and turned digital entrepreneur and attorney. Hope you have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.